David Wygant, 10-minute daily reality check. Labor Day weekend. There's your reality. Summer's over. Technically, it doesn't end till September 21st when the thing called autumnal, I can't fucking pronounce some words. That equinox of the autumn comes and kicks summer out. And then we get something called Indian summer. In LA, oh my God, it just never ends. Look, I know for those of you that live in the East Coast and live on the East Coast, not in the East Coast, that means you would be living in the dirt and the ocean. But for those of you that live on the East Coast and cold climates, you say, man, how could you complain about all that sunshine? Well, let me tell you something. All that sunshine is boring. The weather in LA is boring. It's boring. There's no good storms. There's barely any change of temperature. Yeah, granted, in the wintertime, we can have days in the 50s and low 60s and nights could be in the 30s. I mean, that's, exciting in LA world. But, man, I'll tell you, all you people on Labor Day weekend holiday right now, going out, enjoying the last bit of barbecues and beach and bikinis and mankinis and all the fun little bodies. It's fun. It's the rite of passage. I live in LA because my daughter's here. And I don't love LA. I don't hate LA. LA to me is kind of like dating that average person. She's hot because the weather's great. Her brain, I got to kind of put up with a little bit of brain fog every now and then. She drives me nuts. She's always stressing me out, AKA the 101 and the 405 traffic. But to me, Labor Day weekend is all about saying goodbye to summer, saying hello to fall coming in a few weeks. Indian summer is great. Halloween's around the corner. In Los Angeles, the hottest month of the year is September. A friend of mine once came to LA in September, the end of September, beginning of October, and he says, what the fuck is it doing so hot still here? He says, does summer just blow west and just stay? And I said, pretty much till the end of October. When you look at anything in your life, you have to look at the worst traits first. I'm a New York Jets fan. I look at the worst traits first. No Super Bowl since 1969. Do I tell people I'm no longer going to root for the Jets? Yes. But do I read every single morning ESPN, Rich Cimini, and read the New York Jets beat reporter? Yes, I do. Do I laugh and do I look forward to the first potential 0-16 in New York Jets history? Bring back Rich Kotite. Todd Bowles, you're going to go down in history, man. You might be 0-16 this year. Your offense is terrible. I look at the worst traits first. I look at the worst traits in my friends. Because the good traits are the things that put us into, friendship, love, coma. Whenever you're dating, you really want to look at the person's worst trait first, not their best traits, because that is the coma you're going into. Oh my God, she's got a great body. Oh my God, he's so smart. He's got a great career. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You just see this person. You put this person on this fucking pedestal, a mountain. And all they can do is come down. Because what comes up comes down. That's right, all you people that think real estate is endlessly going to go up. It can't. For those of you that think the stock market's just going to keep cruising through, it can't. Everything comes down, especially in dating. Look at their worst trait first and ask yourself this question. Can I live with this person's trait? Because you may or may not be able to change their worst trait. You may or may not be able to show them the light. They may be a 2-glass-of-night wine drinker. That's who they are. That's what they're about. And if you're somebody that really doesn't like alcohol, then you need to really think about it. They may always be 25 pounds overweight. It's who they are. It's what they're about. They may not have the dedication you have to lose weight. They may not have the drive to go to the gym. They may not have the dedication for change. They may want to change, but they may not be able to change, or they just might like the way they look and feel. Take a look at the money they're making. They may talk about wanting to be an entrepreneur. They may talk about wanting a different job, but in reality, they enjoy getting home at 6 o'clock, eating a Snickers bar and watching the Roku every single night. As you watch them mold into the sofa, you listen to their laugh and you think to yourself, how could they be laughing at that stupid show? Isn't there anything better they could be doing with their life, like me, who likes to read or take long walks and sip maca lattes at night? That's you. I remember I was with somebody one time and she was a TV addict. She recorded every single television show imaginable. I was thinking, how could she possibly have the time to do this? Well, she did. She found it. It was called Weekends. That was her worst trait. I couldn't stand the sound of television whenever I walked into the house. It literally was like nails on the chalkboard, driving me nuts. We didn't last. We made it 5 months. I was with somebody else who was addicted to prescription drugs. It stabilized their moods and their brain. And here's somebody, myself, who is very much about stabilizing the moods and the brains through nutritionals and workout and healthy eating. She was addicted. I felt like I wasn't being with somebody who was fully whole, somebody who was present as I was. I don't drink. I'll smoke pot once in a while, but even then, I can avoid that and do that once or twice a year. I like to have my wits about me. I don't drink caffeine in the morning. Doesn't bother me if people do, because most of the world does. And the fact of the matter is most people are very even chattier on caffeine than they normally would be. So it's actually kind of fun and interesting to be attacked by words in the morning when you wake up and having their brain dump upon you, because to me, I'm a stimulation junkie. So if someone over talks, I'm going to over listen. That to me is a good trait. I enjoy listening to somebody. I enjoy listening to communicate and talk. So when you're dating somebody, whatever it might be, they might have a habit of baking pies at 3 o'clock in the morning. They might spend 1 week a month eating themselves to death because they get depressed. They may be somebody who goes to the gym sporadically. They may be somebody who stresses about work 24/7. They may be somebody who loses their marbles when their children do the smallest things. These are the traits that you need to look at when you're under the influence of a new dick or a new vagina. Yeah, I had to put it that way because the oxytocin that releases in your brain from great sex tends to put you in a oxytocin fog, so you overlook the worst traits about somebody. But in reality, the only way to evaluate somebody is to look at their worst traits. Now, can you help somebody through some of their bad traits? Can you show them different things, even though they may love their bad traits? Absolutely. I've got some bad traits. And when I'm with somebody who is mentally and physically and emotionally healthy, she can help point out my bad traits. It's up to me whether to expand and grow or defend and stay the same. Most of the time I'll get defensive. I'll deny it. I'll say this is just the way that I am. And I've been with just the way that they am people. And I'll do the same thing. I won't recognize a problem. I won't dive deeper. But the one thing that I know from being a coach for 17 years is that if I'm not willing to dive deeper and look at who I really truly am and allow somebody to bring their wisdom upon me and maybe make me a better person through it, then I certainly am a hypocrite when I talk to my people. I'm very, very about growth, personal growth, mental growth, physical growth. I don't just accept stuff for how it is or tell people this is the way that I am. I dated a this is the way that I am person. She was all about growing, well, through books, but never about action. When confronted on things, she would say, this is the way that I am. No, this is the way you choose to be. We choose to give in to our excuses, and our addictions when even they are harmful for our bodies and mind and soul. Some of us are addicted to cigarettes, alcohol, caffeine, cocaine, sugar, potato chips. I could go on and on and on. The list will go on and on. We have addictions. We have addicted brains. We get addicted to something. Usually what we're addicted to is not exactly what is healthy for us long term. We can have an emotional addiction. We can literally be passive aggressive. We can literally put up our dukes. We can literally say to ourselves, this is the way that I am. There's so many things that we can do. So usually when we bring somebody in, they're a mirror of what we need to work on in our lives. They bring the lessons and the wisdom to help us grow and become a better person. Look at their worst trait. Are they willing to work on their worst trait that may be harmful for them in the long run? If their worst trait is picking their nails and flicking them while watching television, that to me is ridiculous. It might drive you crazy, the sound of it. They might occasionally bite their left pinky, but they're not doing any harm at all. But if they're doing emotional, mental, or physical harm to their body through their actions and they don't realize it, that's when you step up and ask them, can I help you through this? Can I love you and support you even more? We all have traits. I yell at traffic sometimes. I occasionally get upset and eat a bag of carbs, even though that's not good for me because it just makes my stomach feel bad. My worst traits are things that I don't do every single day, but if I did them every single day, then they would be traits that would absolutely drive, me crazy and another person crazy. Look at someone's worst traits and ask yourself, can I support them? Can I help them through that? Can I accept them if they're just unbelievably stubborn and can't see the light? Their worst traits, if it affects their health, they need to change. If it affects their mental or emotional well-being to love, they should be able to grow and make that change with you through your love and support. But Jesus, if it's yelling at cars in traffic and that's their worst trait in the whole wide world, then you know what? Let them fucking curse out cars. As long as their traits are not doing physical, emotional, and mental harm to themselves, that to me are things that I have no problem with. All in moderation, folks. We're always going to harm ourselves. There's going to be the birthday party where you sit down and have 2 pieces of cake. There's going to be the Christmas week that you sit around and pound the sugar cookies. There's going to be the time of year when your friends come into town and you haven't drank in a long time that you're going to be hungover every single day. There's going to be the vacation that you go on, even though you work out, that you just feel like being lazy. And you may feel softer and mushier and less hard when you get back. There's going to be times in your life where you're an emotional and mental fucking stress bag. Your kids are freaking you out every day. You're stressed out. You can't handle it. You're venting every single day. And for women, you get the privilege of actually having some really bad traits 3 or 4 days out of the month during your periods. You get that free pass all the time. Fall in love with somebody's worst traits. Support them, love them, help them if it's something that harms them. Accept them when they come out and honor them as a person. Stop looking at all their good stuff and being under the fog. Reality check out. September is here. My worst trait, honestly, I'm not telling you. Maybe I'll tell you on another podcast. 10-minute daily reality check. Spread the love. Labor Day weekend.